I'm a little confused because they asked my sister Jane to do this. And she said, I'm not going to be there, so will you do it? And all she said was your impression of the book. So everybody's done such a good job. And Anne, you're adorable. She's been she's so stalwart. Anyway, so I just said, okay, I will. I didn't know it was about family history or anything about that. So if you have a question, go ahead and ask it, and I'll just try and answer it. Let me just tell you about the book. I did read the book, and at first, when I found out it was as long as it was, I was in a book club, and it seemed like it was the authors wouldn't write less than 350 pages, even if they have to make things up. And I just didn't like that it was so anyway, when I found it was I thought, oh yeah, just like everybody else, 350 pages. But I'll just tell you my impression. It was amazing. It was amazing, the impressions that I got, and the few memories that I have memory. I mean, I'm one of the oldest grandchildren, so I do have memories of some of this. But one thing that just stood out to me is the attitude of everybody in America. They were good people, and they got into that war, and they just did it. They just did that. Can you believe what they did? And to realize that Boyd and Ralph went through all that they did is just overwhelming. And we ought to, John, don't take pictures of this. He's my historic person, and he knows so much. He's got so much on his, I'm saying he's got so much on his mind, but it isn't that he has so much on his mind, it's just he's dang smart. But, and he loves history. So, to know that they went through all of that was just overwhelming. 4.5 years, and the kind of things they did. But I did have one little inspiration, and that was their number was called very, very soon, and they went together. But I think that year of training, so that they went into the war as authorities, and I wondered somehow, did that save them? Because they were part of telling people what to do, or what? I wondered if that was the Lord's answer in some way. And then another thing I learned is Grandpa Henderson. I didn't know him. I was young, and I didn't know him very well, and I was scared of him because he always wanted to count my ribs. And I didn't like that very much, but I'm sure that was the way he was trying to be. But what I learned about him, he was a very great, stalwart, religious man. And I learned that from this book. I didn't know that. I just learned it from this book. But he installed in all of them, and Ralph and Boyd especially, that if they would do what was right, they would be protected. And they were. Oh my gosh. they were so protected, and it was because they did what was right. And all the members of the Fifth Ward men, boys that were in the ward, I think that was a theme, and our grandfather did that. So such an example to all of us he was, and I didn't know that until I read the book. Let's see, was there anything I should have been like you, written things down. I just didn't know what I was supposed to do up here. So anyway, it's a marvelous feat, and my kids will read it. And if it's on audio, they'll eat that up. And I think it'll be a great audio. And I'm just grateful. I think my life is a result of what they taught. If you do what is right, it all comes out. And it has really come out in my family. I had those 7 kids, and they are strong. They've had lots of kids. I don't know, we're over 30 great-grand now. And it's just true. If you do what is right and you hang in there, somehow it all works out. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Do you have any questions?
Judy, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you remember the sawmill?
Yes.
You can remember it?
Yes. Okay, I'll tell you, because
Do you still know where it is?
Yes.
where it is,
We know where it is.
I've never been here. I
I've been
want to
there.
go.
I haven't been back because I don't really know. I mean, I know kind of where it is, but I had these 4 cousins. They were all boys, and we just played in the sand and did trucks and all of those things. But I tell you one thing that they did. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell it anyway, and maybe they can't remember. You'd have to know Gary, but they would watch me when I had to go to the bathroom, because we were just free range. We were anywhere on the mountain, and I just went with them. But then I just told my mother, they say they're hiding, but they're not. They're watching me go to the bathroom.
Gary, not me.
Well, I don't know who it was. But, and then one time my dad got really mad at me because we usually all ate together. And, I was kind of the bottom of that totem pole. And so we had drinks, and I had put paper in their drinks. And that was, drinks at the sawmill was hard to get. But I did that, and I think my parents were embarrassed, and I remember my dad took us back to the cabin, and he spanked me for doing that. But I remember that, and I remember sometimes they told me about what happened in sex, and I thought, I was just a little girl, and I got out of there I think they had been kind of curious about things. You're up there all alone, just having all of that. I got out of there in a hurry. I just remember that. But I remember I loved dancing around the fire. I loved dancing. Because we'd have a bonfire. I bet we had a bonfire every night. And I know Aunt Marge, if we'd go out and do something in the house, she always had a treat for us. So I do remember that. Yeah, I remember the sawmill. I'm sad that it all ended the way it did. Thank you.
Thank you. Where is